Hello, and welcome to the Garden Buzz. September is that bittersweet time when we begin to see flowers fading in our garden. Why not bring some of the garden indoors all winter, such as a pocket of lavender? This is a small Munstead lavender bunch. Earlier this year, when it was in full bloom, I picked the lavender blossoms, tied them up, and dried them. Then when they were dry, I gently removed the lavender buds into a container, an airtight container. Like this. You don't want to get too many sticks in it or other debris, so you have to do it gently. They come off quite easily because they are very dry. Put the lid on it. Now we're going to go indoors and I will show you how to make a lavender pocket that you can put in with a special sweater or your fine lingerie. Now you will begin to make the lavender pocket, the physical pocket. In addition to lavender, there are several supplies that you need to have available. And they include lavender pocket supplies, include fabric, cheesecloth, ruler, ribbon, scissors, a sewing machine, or needle and thread. When you're cutting from your fabric, you can use any kind of fabric, but I like a cotton fabric. It doesn't stretch when you're sewing it, and it's quite durable. For the interest of time, I have already cut my rough pocket. Remember, when you're doing the length of it, you will be folding it in half, so you will have half the size. I cut 13 inches, folded in half. That's 6.5 inches. Then, just to keep the top edge from fraying, I like to use the pinking shears to cut this top edge. It makes it look a little more finished than having the frayed strings. You have this little decorative edge. Now's the time that we go to the machine, the sewing machine, or if you don't have a sewing machine, you can use a needle and thread, because you will be doing 2 seams on either side. I'll turn to the sewing machine and sew the second side. Remember to backstitch, and then I am using a 1/2 inch seam allowance. You get to the end, backstitch, cut your threads, then you gently turn your pocket inside out, like this. Sometimes you need to use your scissors to get the corners. There, the outside pocket is done. The second part of it is cheesecloth. You can find this in a fabric store. Sometimes you find it in a grocery store. Cheesecloth. I like to use cheesecloth as an inside pocket. It keeps the lavender stable and doesn't come out through the packet. Again, you can make all these any size you want. Since my pocket is now 6 inches, I am going to make this approximately 5 inches. And I'm using 2 layers here of cheesecloth. And I will cut this. This is, I'm going to fold it in half. Now I'll be stitching the second side. You leave, obviously, the top open so you can put the lavender inside. And you just zip on down. Trim your threads. You don't have to turn this inside out, but so your seam is hidden. But I always do. And you need to do this gently because the cheesecloth can tear. Your thumbs and everything can go right through it. And you turn it so that it looks like this. Then you're ready to fill it with your lavender. I am using a tablespoon. If you're doing a larger one, you can use whatever you want to get your lavender into the pocket. But I like to have a container large enough that I can put the pocket in here and catch all the little pieces of lavender that aren't that don't fall inside. For something like this, I'll use 3 or 4 tablespoons, and these are generous tablespoons of lavender buds. You kind of shake it down. Go to your machine, fold this over. It doesn't have to be a finished edge because it's going to be inside your pocket. You just need to fold it over. Once again, go to the machine. Trim your threads. Here I have my outside of the pocket. You slip this inside. Gather it up. And I have found for this fabric about 12 to 14 inches. This is a grosgrain ribbon. You can use anything you want. For this, I wrap it around and I tie it on both sides of the pocket. Here you can slide your ribbon down and sort of fluff out your pocket. It gives you a way to tighten it. Come to the front make a little bow. And one of the last things you do, you kind of fluff it up here a little bit, spread the top. You take your thumbs and forefinger and just pinch the lavender a little bit to crush some of the blooms, and you can get the fragrance. And voila, you have your garden fragrances brought indoors. You have a pleasant little stocking stuffer for Christmas. You can make these any size you want. But there you have. Here's a smaller one. This was, I found this in the Christmas decorations. And there you are. Lavender pockets from your own garden.